and welcome back to Tortuga. As you can see, the detectives have me fairly well surrounded, or at least they appear to. A closer examination of the board, or as some people have been telling me on Facebook, you'll note that the 5 beads that the players are currently sitting around can all be moved to by the players this turn. So there is really only one hope for Mr. X this turn, that I am on that point. So let's see what happens. We will start, as we always do, with blue. Blue will be taking a taxi, and blue will be going to 195 and does not capture Mr. X at that point. Next is yellow. Yellow will be taking a taxi as well, and yellow will be moving to 196. Also not capturing Mr. X at this point. Purple will be next. Purple is also going to take a taxi to 182. And purple does not capture Mr. X. Next we have pink. Pink, following the trend, is also going to take a taxi. Pink will be taking a taxi to 197. Pink does also not capture Mr. X this turn. The detective's last hope, green. Green is taking a taxi. Green is moving to point 167. Mr. X is currently sitting at location 167. The detectives have won the game. I have been defeated again. I'll join you over on the couch for the review and summary and wrap up. Congratulations to my players. Well, how about that? They caught me in the end. I know I said I was going to talk to you on the couch, but I mean, it is a bit of a cliche. I know everybody does it, but you know, there's a bit of vanity in showing off at least a small portion of your game collection. Plus it makes a nice backdrop. So now you understand and have seen how Scotland Yard is played. I hope you all enjoyed the ride. I know I enjoyed it quite a lot. What I'm going to do now is just a similar thing to what I did at the end of the Hero Quest video. So what if you really enjoy this game and you want to get yourself a copy? The fortunate thing about Scotland Yard, at least as compared to my last game that I reviewed, which was Hero Quest, is that it actually is still in print. So you can actually find it online and buy it from various online retailers. So I looked around online. You should be able to pick yourself up a new copy of the game for around the $30 to $45 mark. That's US dollars and excluding postage, of course. You could also find yourself a used copy. There's the Board Game Geek marketplace and places like Amazon and things like that. They'll sell used copies. Normally get those for about around the same price, but you should be able to get them down to about $20 if you look around. And the other interesting thing about this game is you can also buy an app for your iOS device. I haven't actually checked if it's on the Google Play Store or not, but I know it is on iOS. That's $2.99 Australian, so I assume everywhere else it's probably 99 cents or free. If you like the idea of the game but you're not so keen on the theme, there are some other options for you as well. One which I would quite strongly recommend is The Fury of Dracula. As I say, it's quite a similar game in that it's one versus many. In this case, one person playing Dracula, the rest playing vampire hunters. But it's a bit different. There's rules for combat, there's special encounters that happen. Essentially, Dracula leaves a trail behind him wherever he moves, and the hunters can pick up on that trail, and he can leave traps and things like that. So it's a little bit more involved than Scotland Yard, but it's definitely something along the same line, and is a very enjoyable game as far as I've heard. I haven't played it myself. Another game in the same sort of style is Clue, the Great Museum Caper. It's a game where one person's playing as a thief running around trying to steal artwork from a museum, and the other players are playing as investigators trying to hunt him down, track him down. It's one of those great early 90s plastic everywhere, amazing three-dimensional board games. and it's very, quite interesting. It is roll and move. I know a lot of people don't like roll and move, but it's pretty stock standard roll and move. There's not a lot to go with it, but it's quite interesting. The thief has to steal a certain number of works of art and then has to escape, and he has to escape by escaping through a window, but doesn't know before he chooses the window whether it's locked or not, and once he chooses the window he reveals his location to everybody, and and it's the same when he's stealing artwork. So it's quite an interesting game. It's quite a small board, but it is good apparently. I've not played it, but I've heard great things about it. And another option, if you like this one person being pursued by many style of board game, is actually Pandemic's expansion On the Brink. That adds a bioterrorist to the game, which you may be familiar with as actually the black wooden pawn I was using for Mr. X. That's from Pandemic. It's still the same game style as regular Pandemic, where the rest of the players are trying to prevent the diseases from spreading across the world, but in this game you've actually got an extra player who is actively spreading a disease. It actually introduces the fifth purple disease, and it just again, I mean, as if Pandemic wasn't difficult enough, but now you've actually got an actual person trying to foil your plots rather than just the game itself. So that's another option. It's another one that I haven't played, but I own it and I should probably get around to it at some point. I've heard some mixed things about it. People say that maybe Pandemic doesn't need that extra layer, but I'm definitely interested in playing it at some point. What about if you don't like Scotland Yard at all? You don't like its theme, you don't like its mechanics, you don't like the rules, you don't like the way it plays. What can you do then? Well, you can go back as a first option and watch my previous video series where I play through Hero Quest, which is a dungeon crawling adventure game where you're playing as a hero and you're fighting monsters and you're collecting treasure and you're falling into holes in the ground. And one person is playing as the evil wizard who's controlling all the monsters and setting up the nasty traps and things. Or you can wait for my next video series in which I'll be playing one of 4 games which are actually up to you guys to decide. I put up a separate video in my video feed which is called A Fork in the Road. If you head over and have a look at that video, you can vote on which of the 4 games we'll be playing. I won't go into them here, just have a look at the other video and you can vote there. Something I didn't do last time and I'd like to do here is talk about what I think of the game, what I think of Scotland Yard. I think it's a really great game. I think it's quite an easy game to understand and explain to people. I think it sets up a fantastic atmosphere around the table where it's very devious, and the player who's playing Mr. X can really be try and be quite secretive with their moves and throw the detectives off. It really is a game that fosters a great feeling around the table. I know a lot of people really hate this branding of gateway games or beginners games, but Scotland Yard is one of the games that I will pull out of my collection and put onto the table in front of people who've never played board games before as a great way to introduce them to the idea. I suppose it's probably not the first one that I'll use, but it's definitely in that first sort of group that I'll wheel out. And every time it hits the table, it gets great reactions from everybody that I play it with. Maybe further down the line, people might tire of it, but I certainly haven't yet. I enjoy it. It's definitely a game that I still, even years later, I probably first played this game 15 years ago, and it's still a game that I well and truly enjoy. And with that, I will bid you farewell. Thank you for sticking with us and watching us, or watching Mr. X get captured, surrounded and captured quite effectively by the detectives. My name's Tinny. Thank you once again for watching, and I hope you can join me next time for my next video playthrough.